right, folks, y'all know every time Donald Trump lies, I do this. All right, he has signed a new executive order barring immigrants from 6 predominantly Muslim countries in the Middle East and Africa from entering the U.S. Iraq has been taken off of the list after the initial one that was passed. His folks say this now meets the provisions by the federal courts. But Stephen Miller, little dictator, he says, no, it's the same. But it's not just that. Trump is having to deal with that, and we still are having to deal with Donald Trump still lying about President Obama tapping his phones. What in the world is going on in this White House? They are in utter disarray. Rena, I want to go to you first.
The chaos, it's maddening. No, it really is, because this ban is unlawful. It's unlawful religious discrimination at the end of the day. There are conservatives like me who, if you believe in liberty and freedom, you know this is what that is. This is infringing on those things. This is religious test. It's not very different than the last ban. And I frankly wish that the White House would just stop pushing things through and ramming them down the throats of the American people when this is not what we wanted. Refugees are not the problem. And I don't really know where conservatives got on this box and said, yes, they are, and we need to do it this way. The White House needed to go about this a completely different way. They did not. They still think they can win. Like you said, Miller said, same basic policies are in this ban. They think they're winning by giving it a little bit of a delay this time, 10 days. It doesn't go into effect until March 16th.
Even though Trump had previously tweeted they did not delay the first time because people flooding into the country, but now there's a delay. Let's bring in David Cay Johnston. Of course, he is the author of a book on Donald Trump. He joined us via Skype from Rochester, New York. Also founder and editor of DCReport.org. David, you've been reporting on this guy for quite some time. The book is called The Making of Donald Trump. He hates you because of that book. And the bottom line is this here, between the Muslim ban, between this whole issue when it comes to Obama tapping his phones, do we have a bipolar president?
Well, he's bipolar. Here's what we know, Roland. Donald Trump is manifestly unfit to hold any public office, even city councilman. He literally doesn't know anything. And in my book, The Making of Donald Trump, which is now the worldwide best-selling biography, it's in 11 languages with more coming, I quote Donald's own words. Everything in my book comes from public sources. And I quote Donald's own words showing he doesn't know anything. Donald doesn't know a Shia from a Sunni from a Sikh. So the policies that you're seeing represent the greatest con artist in history. And the reason he's the greatest con artist in history is he's conned his way into the most powerful job in the world.
And David, he is sitting here, and again, he's making this thing up. Here's what's crazy. He's the president. He doesn't even have enough brain power to realize he could declassify anything he wants to. So if there was this so-called evidence of Obama wiretapping him, he could declassify it for the whole world to see.
Yes, but understand that Donald simply makes things up. He creates his own reality. There are things he is delusional about, and I do mean delusional. But there are many other things where he's quite strategic in making things up. This is a man who got national news coverage 25 years ago that 3 famous women, Madonna, Kim Basinger, and Carla Bruni, were pounding on his bedroom door. He'd never met 2 of them. The third one had denounced him as a lunatic who was just making this up. This is a guy who lies all the time. Donald Trump, who I've known now for almost 30 years, lies with the ease that you and I breathe. It is who he is. And unfortunately, the conventions of journalism mean that he doesn't get treated as someone who lies until very recently. I mean, he's begun to become so audacious that you will see polite phrases with no facts. One of the phrases we'll see about him. But our republic is in great danger, and as long as he's in the White House, and given that Donald Trump is a racist through and through, has been found to have discriminated repeatedly against Black Americans, women, Asian Americans, his White House is going to be a hotbed of official oppression and racism.
Angela, what you're seeing here, again, every time the president speaks, his own White House yesterday couldn't even defend it. They kept saying, well, the tweets speak for themselves. They could not even defend it. His own people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm laughing to keep from crying. It is really, really bad. It's really embarrassing as well. Again, I don't own him as my president. That's the office that he occupies. But I mean, yeah.
Rena, you got Republicans on the Hill who are saying, well, yeah, let's investigate this. Let's investigate to see if it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, as Senator John McCain said, you kind of got to give us something to even go towards an investigation versus, okay.
It's confusing. Yeah.
David?
If I can make a point about that, let's assume for the moment that Donald, in fact, had information that didn't come from Breitbart, where they just make it up, that there had been wiretaps in Trump Tower. What that means is that where someone is under either criminal investigation or national security investigation, because either a criminal court judge or the FISA court, which does national security, would have had to find cause to put on a wiretap. The government does not have the authority to just listen in on your phone conversations. So what he's really saying is, I'm a suspect.
He ain't the brightest bulb in the dark room, Maya.
The only principle that matters, not only to Donald Trump, but to the Republican Congress and Republicans across the country, is the principle of maximum advantage. I don't care what you say. Donald Trump is a racist, but so is the Republican Party. We actually know, we're seeing the writing on the wall in terms of what happened with what's going on in Kentucky with them trying to reinstitute segregation, what's happening in North Carolina and other states across the country where they're trying to disenfranchise black and brown voters. We know what this party is. Let's call it like it is.
All right, then. If you want to understand Trump, be sure to get David's book. It is called The Making of Donald Trump. David Cay Johnston. David, thanks a bunch. We'll have you back.
Thank you, Roland. Be glad to be back anytime.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh, my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.